Minato Namikaze, Naruto's father, was known as the fastest ninja of all, surpassing even the Raikage. His speed was feared by every nation, and he even earned the title of the Yellow Flash of the Leaf because of it. However, much of Minato's fame comes from the Hiraishin, the Flying Thunder God technique, a space-time ninjutsu that allows the user to teleport to any location marked with a special seal. Because of that, it's very common for Naruto fans to say that Minato is only fast because of the Hiraishin. Or worse, that without this technique, he wouldn't even be among the fastest ninjas. But is that really true? In today's video, we're gonna find out Minato's true speed without using the Flying Thunder God technique and analyze whether he was really fast enough to deserve the title of the Yellow Flash. To start, I looked through several moments where Minato appears, and unsurprisingly, he used the Hiraishin in most of them. Still, there are 3 interesting moments that can be used to determine the Yellow Flash's speed without his teleportation technique. The first scene takes place in chapter 501 of the manga, right after Naruto's birth. Obito, who was holding the newborn as a hostage, threatens to kill the baby if Minato doesn't step away from Kushina. Without giving the 4th Hokage any time to react, Obito throws the baby into the air and tries to stab him with a kunai. However, Minato manages to be surprisingly faster than the movement of Obito's arm. This is impressive because Obito was just a few inches away from Naruto, while Minato was at least 2 meters away. Even so, the 4th Hokage manages to rescue his son with ease. And not only that, he even receives praise from Obito himself, who admits that Minato truly deserved the title of the Yellow Flash. The next scene happens in the same chapter. After extracting the Nine Tails from Kushina's body, Obito orders the Kyuubi to kill its former Jinchuriki. Fortunately, Minato appears just in time to save her. Yes, Minato used the Hiraishin to get there, but for those who might have missed it, he literally appeared in the middle of the Nine Tails attack and still managed to react fast enough to escape to a distant location, carrying Kushina in his arms. An important detail, it's obvious that there were no Flying Thunder God seals on that tree. The only seal in that area was on Kushina's body. In other words, yes, Minato appeared in the middle of the Kyuubi's attack, grabbed Kushina, and moved physically, running only with his natural speed to that tree. For those who think that's not a big deal, let me tell you something. Just these feats alone make Minato far faster than the vast majority of ninjas in Naruto. Even Naruto himself, while in Sage Mode, thought the Nine Tails was far too fast. And that was when he was only facing half of the Kyuubi. Notice that it's the exact same attack the Beast used to try to kill Kushina. Naruto, in Sage Mode and in the middle of battle, barely managed to dodge that strike. Meanwhile, Minato, appearing in the middle of the same motion, easily avoided it, and while carrying extra weight. At that moment, Minato received yet another compliment from Obito, and notice that Obito's compliments are entirely about Minato's physical speed, with no connection to the Hiraishin. Yet, some people still believe that Minato has the same speed as Obito just because they once ran toward each other. Guys, the fact that 2 ninjas run in opposite directions doesn't mean they're equally fast. Naruto and the 3rd Raikage also charged at each other, and we all know their speeds were completely different. The final scene takes place when the Hokage arrive at the battlefield during the 4th Great Ninja War. Everyone should remember that they all left the Hidden Leaf Village at the exact same time, but Minato arrived long before the others. Quite the surprise, right? He had enough time to throw a kunai toward an island in the middle of the ocean to deflect a tailed beast bomb from the Ten Tails, mark the battlefield with kunai in strategic positions, and even have a short conversation with Naruto. Only after all that did the other Hokage finally show up, and if you think that wasn't a feat of Minato's physical speed, it's worth noting that the first thing the other Hokage do when they arrive is praise him for it. Hiruzen comments, "Minato is still as fast as ever," and Tobirama is impressed to realize that the 4th Hokage is even faster than he is. Tobirama says this because, as we later learn, the 2nd Hokage was the fastest ninja of his era. In other words, he was faster than both Hashirama and Madara, and while those two aren't exactly known primarily for their speed, their still incredibly fast. Remember when Naruto in Sage Mode complained that the Nine Tails was too fast? Well, Hashirama in his base form, without Sage Mode or any other enhancements, mocked the movements of the Susanoo sword controlled by the Kurama. And not only that, Hashirama literally outran the Nine Tails, leading it all the way to the shore. You can tell there was a chase, since Madara eventually got tired of running after him and ordered the beast to fire a tailed beast bomb. Madara himself is on the same level as Hashirama when it comes to speed. To show that this speed scaling makes sense, let's recall Madara managed to land a hit on Naruto in Sage Mode. Naruto was able to block, but even while defending himself, he was overpowered and knocked down by Madara's attack, who moments later easily dodged all of Sasuke's strikes. So to understand our speed scale so far, the Nine Tails is far too fast for Naruto in Sage Mode. Hashirama is faster than the Nine Tails. Madara is on the same speed level as Hashirama, making him faster than Naruto and Sasuke. Tobirama is faster than both Hashirama and Madara, and Minato is considerably faster than all of them. And if you still don't fully grasp the extent of Minato's physical speed, let's go back to the scene where the Hokage arrive on the battlefield. Besides Tobirama, Sasuke also lost badly to Minato in terms of speed. Naruto even mocked Sasuke for arriving late, which makes it more than clear that Minato is extremely fast, even without relying on the Hiraishin. But let's not stop there. Could Minato actually be faster than the Raikage even without the Flying Thunder God technique? As absurd as that might sound, it's not impossible. Many people cling to that famous scene where the Raikage almost hit Minato to argue that the Yellow Flash wouldn't have escaped without the Hiraishin. But is that really true? Take a look at these two scenes. The Raikage's fist just inches away from Minato's face. And in this other one, the Raikage's fist just inches away from Madara's face. Even at such close range, Madara was able to move his arms to block the Raikage's punch. And let's remember that Madara is slower than Tobirama, who in turn was slower than Minato. Therefore, there's no real reason to believe that Minato was in trouble in that scene against the Raikage. If Minato had wanted to, he could have blocked the attack just like Madara did, but he was simply smarter. In Minato's case, blocking wasn't the best option, since he had something far more advantageous, the Hiraishin. Instead of defending himself and taking unnecessary risks, Minato quietly threw a kunai behind the Raikage without him noticing and teleported there, already with his counterattack perfectly prepared, which only failed because of Killer Bee's interference.
俺もいろいろ背負ってるものがあるから飛べ失敗はしないよ
So what exactly is Minato's speed without the Hiraishin? No mystery at all. Minato is just as fast as the Raikage and as Naruto in his Nine Tails chakra mode, and the official 4th data book confirms exactly that. On the page about the Raikage's lightning armor abilities, it explicitly states, the Raikage's speed rivals that of the 4th Hokage. This isn't new information. In the manga itself, it's already mentioned that the lightning armor put the Raikage on the same level as the Yellow Flash. Some might think that this comparison refers only to reaction speed, but from the context, it's obvious that it means physical speed. After all, up to that point, the Raikage had only demonstrated physical attacks, like his strike against Jugo. If it were just a matter of reaction time, it would be like the fight between Rock Lee and Sasuke. The Sharingan could see fast movements, but if the body couldn't keep up, it wouldn't make any difference. In Minato's case, especially in his fight against the Raikage, it was clear that the Yellow Flash possessed both the mental reflexes and the physical speed necessary to react to attacks at the Raikage's top normal velocity. That said, we can safely affirm that yes, Minato was just as fast as the Raikage, even without using the Hiraishin. However, to avoid confusion, it's important to clarify one thing. There's a difference between the Raikage's normal speed and his maximum speed. What we're saying is that Minato moves at the same level as the Raikage's normal speed, which is also equivalent to Naruto's standard Kurama Chakra mode speed. In other words, Minato Minato wouldn't need the Hiraishin to keep up with this initial level, the same speed the Raikage normally uses against his opponents, such as when he dodged Jugo's surprise attack or intercepted Naruto multiple times. However, Minato is not at the level of the Raikage's maximum speed, the one he achieves by combining the lightning armor with the body flicker technique Shunshin no Jutsu, something the Raikage only uses in critical moments, like when he dodged Amaterasu or tried to strike Naruto in Kurama mode. To surpass that extreme level, then Minato would need the Hiraishin.
俺の勝ち
Well, we've reached the end of the video. If you liked it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also leave a comment to help with engagement. Cheers, and see you next time.